Leave it to me. Be quick. Time is mana. Easily done.
We're wasting time here. Justice will be done. The hunt awaits.
Finally. This is more like it. What is it now? Speak, fool. No one orders me around. For the Lich King. At last. This is more like it. Tread lightly. At last. Speak, fool. No one orders me around. You will know endlessly. This is more like it. What is it now? Speak, fool. No one orders me around. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Now, Frostmourne hungers. Finally. At last. Finally. What is it now? Tread lightly. What is it now? This is more like it. Tread lightly. At last. Frostmourne hungers. What is it now? At last. No one orders me around. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. At last. Faithless coward. This is more like it. At last. Finally. What is it now? No one orders me around. Tread lightly. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. At last. Speak, fool. What is it now? Speak, fool. Your pain shall be legendary. This is more like it. Finally. At last. No one orders me around. What is it now? Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally. Tread lightly. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. At last. I'll make sure you suffer. No one orders me around. You will know everything. What is it now? This is more like it. No one orders me around. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Tread lightly. Your pain shall be legendary. Frostmourne hungers. What is it now? At last. Finally. Tread lightly. This is more like it. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. No one orders me around. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool. What is it now? At last. Now, Frostmourne. Speak, fool. I'll make sure you suffer. This is more like it. No one orders me around. Frostmourne hungers. Your pain shall be legendary. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Finally. This is more like it. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Glory to the Scourge. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. What is it now? Finally. At last. No one orders me around. Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly. Finally. This is more like it. Finally. At last. What is it now? Finally. No one orders me around. I'll make sure you suffer. You will not end this torment. Your pain shall be legendary. You will not end this torment. Your pain shall be legendary. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. Glory to the Scourge. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. At last. Now, finally. Frostmourne hungers. What is it now? This is more like it. Tread lightly. What is it now? Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly. No one orders me around. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Finally. This is more like it. At last. Frostmourne hungers. What is it now? Tread lightly. This is more like it. What is it now? At last. Frostmourne hungers. For the Lich King. At last. Speak, fool. No one orders me around. Speak, fool. Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly. What is it now? Speak, fool. Finally. Glory to the Scourge. Your pain shall be legendary. Now. No one orders me around. Glory to the Scourge. At last. Finally. At last. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. At last. Tread lightly. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. What is it now? At last. Finally. At last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Speak, fool. For the Lich King. Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like it. What is it now? No one orders me around. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. What is it now? Tread lightly. Speak, fool. Finally. What is it now? Tread lightly. Your pain shall be legendary. You will know endless. Speak, fool. This is more like it. Ah, at last. For the Lich King. Your pain shall be legendary. You will know endless torment. Your pain shall be legendary. Finally. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. No one orders me around. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Ah, at last. What is it now? Finally. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Tread lightly. This is more like it. No one orders me around. Finally. Tread lightly. What is it now? Speak, fool. No one orders me around. At last. Speak, fool. No one orders me around. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. What is it now? No one orders me around. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. What is it now? Ah, at last. Tread lightly. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Speak, fool. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Ah, at last. What is it now? Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. No one orders me around. Speak, fool. What is it now? This is more like it. Speak, fool. Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. This is more like it. Ah, at last. What is it now? Speak, fool. Finally. For the Lich King. No one orders me around. What is it now? Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Tread lightly. No one orders me around. Tread lightly. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Speak, fool. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. No one orders me around. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. Ah, at last. Tread lightly. You will know endlessly. No one orders me around. This is more like it. Speak, fool. What is it now? Tread lightly. Now, Frostmourne. You will know endless torment. I'll make sure you see. Ah, at last. No one orders me around. Speak, fool. Glory to the Scourge. Frostborn hungers. What is it now? Tread lightly. Speak, fool. You will not end my torment. For the Lich King. Faithless coward. You will not end this torment. No one orders me. I'll make sure you suffer. Finally. Tread lightly. What is it now? Tread lightly. Ah, at last. Finally. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers. No one orders me around. Finally. This is more like it. Faithless coward. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. What is it now? For the Lich King. Frostmourne hungers. Faithless coward. No one orders me around. Now, Frostmourne. For the Lich King. What is it? Faithless coward. I'll make sure you suffer. Your pain shall be legendary. I'll make sure you suffer. This is more like it. No one orders me around. Faithless coward. You will end this. Ah, at last. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. What is it now? Now, Frostmourne. Faithless coward. I'll make sure you suffer. No one orders me around. Ah, at last. Speak, fool. No one orders me around. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. This is more like it. Ah, at last. No one orders me around. This is more like it. Ah, at last. Speak, fool. What is it now? For the Lich King. Faithless coward. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. No one orders me around. Now, Frostmourne. For the Lich King. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Tread lightly. Your pain shall be legendary. What is it now? For the Lich King. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Finally. Faithless coward. No one orders me around. For the Lich King. This is more like it. Ah, at last. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. Faithless coward. This is more like it. Ah, at last. What is it now? I'll make sure you suffer. This is more like it. No one orders me. Ah, at last. This is more like it. What is it now? Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Finally. No one orders me around. Speak, fool. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Finally. No one orders me around. This is Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool. Finally. This is more like it. Finally. No one orders me around. What is it now? Speak, fool. What is it now? At last. Speak, fool. Your pain shall be legendary. You will know endless torment. No one orders me around. What is it now? Tread lightly. Faithless coward. Speak, fool. No one orders me around. I'll make sure you suffer. What is it now? Now, Frostmourne. Tread lightly. Finally. Speak, fool. No one orders me around. Tread lightly. This is more like it. What is it now? Finally. This is more like it. No one orders me around. What is it now? Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. No one orders me around. What is it now? No one orders me around. Finally. Speak, fool. No one orders me around. This is more like it. Finally. Tread lightly. What is it now? No one orders me around. This is more like it. Speak, fool. What is it now? Finally. No one orders me around. This is more like it. What is it now? Speak, fool. No one orders me around. At last. Oh, speak, fool. Finally. Glory to the scourge. At last. Glory to the scourge. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly. No one orders me around. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. This is more like it. At last. This is more like it. At last. Faithless coward. Your pain shall be legendary. This is more like it. Now. No one orders me around. Finally. You will know endless. For the Lich King. Faithless coward. Speak, fool. You will know endless. Tread lightly. Speak. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. What is it now? Speak, fool. Finally. No one orders me around. Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly. For the Lich King. Finally. You will know endlessly. What is it now? At last. Tread lightly. Speak, fool, for the Lich King. What is it now? Speak, fool. Tread lightly. What is it now? Speak, fool. Frostmourne hungers. No one orders me around. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool. This is more like it. Tread lightly. Faithless coward. For the Lich King. Frostmourne hungers. Oh, at last. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Your pain shall be legendary. At last. Finally. What is it now? At last. For the Lich King. You will know endless torment. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally. Tread lightly. No one orders me around. Now, Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. At last. Speak, fool. No one orders me around. Finally. At last. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. You will get this. Finally. At last. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Finally. At last. Finally. No one orders me. Tread lightly. This is more like it. At last. Speak, fool. What is it now? Finally. No one orders me around. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. At last. Now, Frostmourne. You will know endless torment. Finally. At last. This is what. Tread lightly. Finally. This is what. No one orders me. Now. I'll make sure you suffer. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. For the Lich King. What is it now? You will end this. Your pain shall be legendary. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. At last. Frostmourne hungers. Now, Frostmourne. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Faithless coward. Tread lightly. No one orders me around. What is it now? No one orders me around. Ah, at last. Glory to the Scourge! Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. Frostmourne hungers. Now, Frostmourne. No one orders me around. For the Lich King. Finally. Ah, at last. What is it now? This is more like it. Finally. Faithless coward. Speak, fool. Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly. You will know endless. This is more like it. Your pain shall be legendary. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Speak, fool. What is it now? Finally. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. No one orders me around. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. Finally. For the Lich King. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool. Ah, at last. Tread lightly. Finally. Speak, fool. No one orders me. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Ah, at last. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. No one orders me around. Finally. I'll make sure you suffer. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Ah, at last. Speak, fool. No one orders me around. Finally. Tread lightly. What is it? This is more like it. Speak, fool. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hunger. What is it now? Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Finally. No one orders me around. Ah, at last. What is it now? Finally. Ah, at last. Finally. Ah, at last. Finally. Ah, at last. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. This is more like it. For the Lich King. Faithless cowards. Tread lightly. Frostmourne hungers. No one orders me around. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly. This is more like it. Speak, fool. No one orders me around. Finally. Tread lightly. What is it now? This is more like. Ah, at last. Finally. For the Lich King. This is more like. Now lost. I'll make sure so. Finally. Last.